I'm Heinbach, and it's good to have you back. When I binged the new Netflix series, The Fall of the House of Usher, a little device struck my eye. The Sony Mic'n Micro M-100MC dictaphone. This little recording device is used by Assistant United States Attorney C. Auguste Dupin to record his interrogation with the enigmatic and twisted billionaire Roderick Usher. The Sony Mic'n Micro is one of the last microcassette recorders ever produced, and Sony went all in on the design. It looks like a camcorder, which, as I said in my 2018 review of microtape dictaphones, is a bit conspicuous because you'll get noticed if you record with this. Especially because it does have a big red light. It looks like you are filming someone. It has a huge mic compared to other dictaphones with settings for lecture, meeting and dictation. It is a high-end machine as far as microcassette recorders go. It has all the features: 2 speeds, fast playback, voice-activated recording, markers.
But it is still a microcassette recorder, so it does not sound that great.
The fall of the House of Usher is dominated by mobile phones, which have replaced these things in most professions. I was once interviewed by a big radio station on the street with an iPhone shoved in my face. As a fan of the old Marantz, Sony, and of course Nagra tape recorders, it was a bit of a letdown. So why did the prop department choose a 27-year-old device for Dupin to use? I furnished many theater plays with microcassette recorders, with cassette recorders, with reel-to-reels. And I get called from time to time by film whenever there is the need for example, a Nagra to be on screen. So I'm gonna try to make some educated guesses about why. Warning, there will be some spoilers for The Fall of the House of Usher. Nothing that would take away from your enjoyment of the series, I hope, but you've been warned. Same as the costume department chooses the perfect outfit for an actor and the role, the prop department picks tools that fit with the character and the world the character lives in. A tool that a character uses becomes part of their personality. It tells something about that character. Dupin is an old-school investigator. He's close to retirement, and microcassettes would be something that he would have been used for a long time. While these do not sound great, they are perfectly suited for voice recording because that's the range they operate. And they've got one huge advantage to digital recorders still, and that is they have one-button operation. It's just record. Now the recording is on. While with my other Sony recorders, such as the PCMD100 that I use often, you have to press twice to activate the recording. And I've lost many recordings due to that 2-button operation of first arm and then record. Also, when this runs, you can hear it. You can hear the motor running very slightly. And you can even feel it a bit in your hands. There is movement here. And when the tape stops for whatever reason, there's a click and you know, oh, my recording has stopped. And you see visually that something is wrong. With digital, you have to monitor it with many of these handheld recorders, at least that I know. This is in many ways more reliable thanks to the mechanical feedback it provides. From the perspective of a character who is a state attorney, this might be the most reliable device. Just set it up there, you will know it's running, and if you have to record murder confessions, well, you'd rather have something that just works. Especially for an older gentleman, digital might seem like an unreliable replacement. All of that makes the Sony Mic'n Micro a believable tool for the character to be using. And that helps ground the character in reality. Then there's the issue of narrative contrast. Both men have devices close to them or even in their hand most of the time. For Dupin, it's this. And for Usher, it is a mobile phone. Usher receives constant messages there from his grandkid, and that becomes part of the whole conversation that they have about family values. It also takes a darker, more twisted turn. When this is on, the plot can go forward, and Dupin turns it off when Roderick becomes too rambling and meandering in his story. And in the end, we see a close-up of this on the grave of Usher. So while it creates contrast between the two men, it is also a plot device that starts, stops, and also frames the whole action. It even leaves the audience with a question: will any of the confessions of Roderick Usher ever be used? Probably not, because what he's saying is out of the scope of an assistant US state attorney. The two characters are very different personalities. One values family, the other power, and is willing to sacrifice family for that. And their tension propels the whole story forward and serves as a framing device for everything. And the phone and the Sony helps in telling that contrast. So hats off to the prop department. I think this was a great choice to put in the hands of Dupin. These are my theories on why the Sony Mic'n Micro was used on The Fall of the House of Usher. If you've got a different one, let me know in the comments below. That's it from me, and I wish you
a happy Halloween.